jobs was working for a photographer's studio called Pagano, where movie stars would come to be photographed. I mean, they were big people, and they had a wonderful studio. It was opposite St. Patrick's Cathedral on 51st Street. Well, I worked at Pagano's before I went into the Army. I worked there for possibly a year. I'm looking at this magazine, Popular Photography, and there's an article here, A Trip Through Pagano Land, which I'd never seen before. This is wonderful. There were two Pagano brothers. One was Guy Pagano, and the other was Bert Pagano. I've met them both and worked for them both. They were easy at times and they were tough at times, and they were very professional in their endeavors, and they were very highly respected. You know, at the time, if people knew that you worked at Pagano's, you were somebody, even if it was a gopher. And all this, I'm more impressed with Guy and Bert. Like, I don't think I realized quite how important they were when I worked there, you know. The lighting was like a Hollywood studio. Mm-hmm. You know, they have these Klieg lights, and when they set up a scene to be photographed, it was much like you would set up a scene to be filled with actors.
So what did you do there?
I did many things there. I served as an errand boy. I also worked with the artists and assisting them in any way I could by changing their water for the paints and seeing that their brushes were cleaned, and I did all sorts of things of that nature, and I'd work between the artists and the photographers, and whenever the photographer did whatever it was, they would send me to get it. I did something once that almost blew this guy's mind. He had done a photograph of some model, and it was like a color print, which was unusual then. It was very expensive. I forget what they called it, but my job was to mat it, to get a mat for it. And I was very naive, that I didn't know. And I took a pin and I punched a slight hole in this very expensive print so that I could locate where the mat should be. And when the photographer saw that, he almost passed away. I never heard such invective. I mean, that was really, he was out of his mind, and I don't blame him. But that was the nature of what I was doing there. I was, other than screwing up like that, I was helping other people. I was always interested in photography. I think if I hadn't been involved with the drawing, I would have wanted to be involved in using a camera somehow in terms of live action, or I really enjoyed that.
I think I first met Ray at Gallery 668, and what attracted me to him was the piece of hardware he had around his neck. I should say that I'm a photographer, and he had a really nice camera around his neck. I then learned about his photography. Actually, we showed together at Gallery 668, and I didn't know he was an illustrator. I thought he was a photographer because his photographs were, and I just remember these photographs from the 1950s, black and white, unbelievable photographs. And I have no photographs of the 50s, even though I remember the 50s. And his photographs were stunning, were just beautiful. Reminded me of the old Life magazine, of Look, all of the great big picture magazines. great detail, great design, layout, and I mean layout of his subject, his backgrounds. He was aware of everything going on inside that image. It was really fine work.